I want to hear about your thoughts on Frank Vogel. Obviously, some big moments for him in his short tenure with the Lakers. But now he's got some problems, maybe some good problems, because he's got some really good veteran players and a few young, potentially good under 30 guys. What's he going to do as far as like balancing these guys in the rotation?
Well, the one thing about Coach Vogel, one of his major assets is his ability to communicate with his players. Historically, I've always heard that, he's a man of his word. He comes to you right away. You hear it from him first. I think we experienced that a little bit this past season when he had to make some decisions about how he was going to play, like Marc Gasol after Drummond came in, and also with veteran players like Morris, deciding when their minutes were better for the team and when they were not. So I think he'll continue that. He seems to have had that over his career. I think it's the nuclear of players, LeBron, AD, and we got Rondo coming back, and I think they all seem to agree and adhere to his philosophy. Defense first, and then everything seems to trickle down. So I don't foresee it as a problem. And I think for most of the veteran players who are coming here, Carmelo and Wayne Ellington and guys like that, Nunn coming in from Miami, I think they have a pretty good idea of what they're going to get. Bazemore made a comment about, with Vogel, he lays it out there. You have to earn it. And I think that's what most players like to hear.
You hit on a lot of those veteran guys, and there are plenty of them on the Lakers, almost 3/4 of the roster right now. Having so many vets is a good thing, but can that also be a lot of voices in that huddle, too?
It can be,
yeah.
Because all these veterans bring a ton of experience. Last year we were fortunate enough to have Jared Dudley be one of those guys. The year before that, it was Rondo. But when you get a collective effort, I think you have to choose the ones who are vocal. And I think veteran players have a tendency to do that. Wayne Ellington is not a guy that's a big, talker, not a big vocal guy. I think in practice you get that type of encouragement. Bazemore is kind of a, I'll show you what I can do. So I think there's certain guys like Rondo who has an amount of value when he speaks. Carmelo's been around for a while. He'll probably add some value as well. So I think veteran players know who has the voice, and they kind of allow that to play out.
The Lakers lost some pretty good defenders during the offseason. Obviously KCP, Caruso, Schroeder, a feisty point guard defensively, Kyle Kuzma. So he had some pretty good moments on D as well. Frank Vogel, obviously a very defensive-minded coach. The Lakers had the top-rated defense in the league last year. How does he kind of keep that going, that mindset, with some really new personnel here?
Yeah, it seems to always be a challenge. I remember we let Dwight Howard go and McGee, and we didn't have any shot blocking.
Yeah.
And he still was able to maintain until the injuries. We still had AD. He still was able to maintain a pretty good defensive team. And I think he'll be able to do that again this year. Bringing back shot blockers, that's going to help. Anytime you have shot blockers, it allows the perimeter players to be better defensive players than they really are, because they can pressure a little bit more, deny a little bit more, because they know they have rim protection. So I expect that to be the same.
We've talked a lot about the new faces for the players, some new faces for the coaching staff, too. There's been some turnover there. Jason Kidd gone. Lionel Hollins no longer here. David Fizdale brought in to help as an assistant coach. Mike Penberthy now on the front of the bench. What does Frank have to do to kind of make sure the coaching chemistry is good as well?
Yeah, I think that'd be the easiest thing to deal with. Assistant coaches are pretty good at adjusting to what the coach wants and what he needs. And so I think the two names that you mentioned are guys that, he knows very well, and they know his philosophy. And so they'll handle certain things in practice, and they'll be able to add, a little adjustments here and there. So I don't think that's going to be an issue. It's because it's always the head coach is the guy that's the last voice you're going to hear out of a huddle. So I think the two that you named are ready. They've proven themselves already. I think they'll pick up where the other two left off.